Hidden Rome, the city beneath the city. Hello dear viewer, today I am here to present some facts on one of the greatest empires ever. Of course it's the Roman Empire. I am Crazy Davis here to bring you Rome facts. That isn't just the same boring Colosseum trivia everyone's heard a million times. But first, welcome to my channel. I also make other fascinating videos here, you can check them out too. Most people think of Rome as ruins above ground, Colosseum, Pantheon, Roman Forum. But the crazier fact is that modern Rome sits on top of ancient Rome. Literally, entire streets, houses, and temples are buried beneath today's sidewalks. Fun fact: Rome has so many layers of civilization that archaeologists joke it's like a lasagna. Here I will present you some of the craziest and unbelievable facts about Rome, like how Roman concrete still stands today, aqueducts that carried 300 million gallons or 992 million liters of water, what gladiators ate, why Roman emperors were crazy, and what is a vomitorium. Let us begin. 10. Roman graffiti. Rome, though an empire with strong leaders, esteemed politicians and genius military commanders recorded in history, was also a place for the commoners, middle-class citizens, poor and slaves. We often put a huge emphasis on leaders, commanders and politicians, ignoring the daily lives of the average people like most of you and me. Roman people expressed themselves in serious, friendly, or even humorous ways. Trust me, some of these will make you laugh out loud. Graffiti made by common men and women on walls and buildings offer an interesting perspective on day-to-day life in Rome. The purpose was to build a massive network of graffiti and wall scribbles across the city, advertisements, memes, insults, even love notes. You can say it's ancient Twitter carved in stone. 9. Gangster firemen. I know what you're thinking, gangs that are pyro-arsonists, but this is not the case. In fact, these volunteer groups kept fire away from home, even thought their practices not moral. Yes, indeed, they were firefighting squad. But how are firefighters evil? You might ask. I, Crazy Davis, am here to solve this puzzling question for you. So basically, private fire brigades would show up to burning houses, but instead of helping, they'd demand payment first. If you didn't pay, they let it burn. Damn, the ancients had it rough. Thank goodness we're born in a time where we get fire service for free and it's easily available. 8. Gladiators didn't always fight to the death. You might have seen various movies about gladiator death matches, where only a few, the most skilled, emerged alive and set free. But in reality, this is completely opposite. Gladiators survived almost all of the matches they fought, and even if they lost or were heavily injured, too expensive to kill them off every time. Many matches were more like brutal WWE injuries, yes, but not always fatal. The cost of training a proper skilled gladiator was extremely high. All the brave men who fought for the crowd's joy were honored with what they deserved. The losing gladiator was simply transported off the stadium and recovered with the help of medics. Gladiators were well respected, they even got the girls. Many freemen opted to live out a lifestyle of the warrior and became gladiator. Even some retired soldiers choose to be gladiators for the cash. Let me now tell you how common was it for these legends to die in combat. The big reveal is here, guys. In some records from the 1st century AD suggest a death rate as low as 1 in 10 or even 1 in 5 matches. Please take no offense, but if you were offered the opportunity to become a gladiator, will you? Please write in the comment section below. 7. The crazy effects of lead poisoning. Now connecting to second to last question, why emperors were crazy. A lot of causes like extreme wealth and unrestrained power, the self-proclaimed divine status, difference in classes, or no one to simply question their action. There is also another more sciencey reason for this madness. You may never guess it. The wine they drank every day, the sweet delicacies emperors enjoyed. No, not like the wine was poisoned or contaminated, it was the vessel in which it was served, the dishes and glasses made of lead to enhance flavor, which instead enhances something else entirely, like the feeling to make your pet horse a co-ruler or declare war on the ocean like Caligula did. The effects include greatest risk to brain development, where irreversible damage can occur. Higher levels can damage the kidneys and nervous system in both children and adults. Very high lead levels may cause seizures, unconsciousness, and death. Emperors drank wine daily, often in excess, consuming lead with what they drank slowly. It got mixed in their bloodstream and into their brain. So that's why modern science, especially chemistry, saves lives. 6. Romans invented fast food. Street food stalls called thermopolia sold hot meals to busy citizens. Think of them as McDonald's 2000 years early. Wow, that sounds so great to hear. Imagine being a plantation farmer who after days of work goes out to get some of those juicy olives or dates, or even under rare occasions the early precursor to modern pizza. What a time to be alive, if you aren't getting food poisoned, of course. Unlike most modern restaurants which use preservatives and ensure a standard of cleanliness which these ancient stalls did not have. Symptoms include food poisoning, disease contamination, nausea, and many others. While Romans used large ceramic containers, dolia and pithoi, for food storage, the general lack of refrigeration meant food could spoil quickly, especially in warm weather of the Roman sun. 5. Crazy emperors were the norm. Coming back to the topic of crazy emperors, let's see some very odd things they did. Caligula once tried to make his horse a consul, and declared a war on the sea god Poseidon. Nero played the lyre while Rome burned. Nope, this is false, there is no evidence to confirm it, probably just an accusation by those who despised his rule, but Nero did other crazy things. A very evil man who cared less for others, and prided himself much. He is also the reason why the mark of the beast is 666. Numerological system of gematria. The name, Nero Caesar, written in Hebrew, numerically calculates to 666. Elagabalus threw parties where guests were crushed by flower petals falling from the ceiling. He is also credited with inventing the instrument for fart noises, the one and only whoopee cushion. Elagabalus threw parties where he invited guests to sit on chairs. The guests come in. Oops. What noise? Who did? Callus, was it you?
No, Junitus, someone else did it. Valerian the First. Suppose he was the one who ate all the meat.
Ha ha ha. Elagabalus laughs, the real culprit who placed it there. 4. Vomitoriums weren't what you think. Contrary to the myth, vomitoriums weren't rooms where Romans purged during feasts. They were actually exit passages in amphitheaters, though Romans did feast until they burst sometimes. Vomitorium is not a place to spill. There is nothing gross about it, I swear. It was rather the entrance to Colosseum where the crowds rushed into the Colosseum like food rushes out. The Roman word for vomit simply means spew forth, just like it spews forth. The term is often misunderstood to refer to a place where people would vomit during feasting, but this is a myth. 3. Urine was taxed. Romans used to go to pee in public washrooms. Often there was no separation between spaces. This was to encourage communication and discussions. But someone stepped in to destroy the peace. It was none other than the emperor himself, who did not use them but was not a bad ruler either, of course, Vespasian. Emperor Vespasian literally put a tax on pee. Public urinals collected it, and it was sold to laundries because ammonia in urine cleaned clothes. That's why the phrase, money doesn't stink, comes from him. 2. Gladiator sweat was sold as medicine. Yup. Romans believed gladiator sweat, and even blood, had healing and fertility powers. Imagine buying a vial of warrior sweat at the market. Gladiators were seen as possessing great strength. Sometimes pregnant women believed gladiator sweat was key to a successful birth. This shows how gladiators were seen not as mere mortals but formidable warriors above the ranks of a commoner, even though they were from slave background. 1. Concrete stronger than ours. This fact is for those true smarties who are really into facts. Roman concrete actually gets stronger with age because it self-heals when water seeps in. Some of their harbors are still standing after 2,000 years, while our modern bridges crumble in 50. Why? You might wonder. Let us see the amazing engineering behind it. Roman concrete was so strong and durable because it used a hot mixing process with lime, volcanic ash, pozzolana, and seawater, creating a unique, self-healing material. The lime clasts, small chunks of quicklime, that resulted from this process were not a sign of poor mixing but a key to its resilience, as seawater infiltrating cracks would react with them to form strengthening aluminous tobermorite crystals that repaired damage over time. If you understood that, you're cool. So basically they mixed volcanic ash, lime and seawater in a heterogeneous mixture such that weight seeps in it evenly. That's not all of it, my dear viewers. While thanking you for watching my videos fully, I would also recommend you to watch my other video on 6 deadliest mushrooms or 3i Atlas, or if into geography, top 6 deadliest rocks.